Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back with another great story / explanation. I actually have explained all this white stuff on my sweatshirt is toothpaste. Get your mind out of the gutter. I had actually explained in an earlier video, although I can't find which one, where the name Ballface8020 comes from. I know that nobody's going to bother going through all the old videos. I myself can't even find it. So, and that explanation would have been, what, 3 years ago? It would have been during the pandemic that I gave the explanation. So, over 3 years ago. Very long time ago. So, since I'm still going by that, I don't think there's any harm in having a video just directly addressing it. By the way, it wasn't a whole video. It was just something I mentioned at the beginning. So, the initial name of the channel was Ballface8020, and that's, so there, it was not Hammer Atungo. So here's the thing with my name, okay? My grandparents were from, well, I mean, they were from Poland, kind of depending on how you look at it, because it was like Poland for a long time wasn't really Poland. And then after World War, it was called the Congress of Poland, but it was part of the Russian Empire. And so they couldn't, I mean, they would have regarded themselves as Russian Jews. But then Poland became, after World War I, Poland became a state again, because it had, after the Polish, I forget when, Poland lost lost all independence during the third partition of Poland, but I forget when that was. I think it was sometime in the 1700s. So anyway, but when Poland became a state again, that's when the anti-Semitism really got because it hadn't really been that bad. But then, when Poland became a state again, the anti-Semitism became really bad, especially in the 30s, when everybody realized that, the Nazis were going to be invading soon. So, in the 30s, my grandparents knew that they needed to get out. And you couldn't go to the U.S. back then. It wasn't like today where the U.S. just lets in anybody. And there really was no other place to go. And so in desperation, the only place that would take them was Nigeria. So they moved to Nigeria. And this was both sets of my grandparents, by the way. So they moved to Nigeria, and then both sets of my grandparents, when they moved to Nigeria, they assimilated into the Atongo tribe in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very tribal society, so often what you'll do is you'll hook up with a tribe. And then my mom and my dad were both born in Nigeria, although they didn't know each other there. And then after they were born, their parents, again, not really knowing each other, separately immigrated to America. And in America, that's where my parents met. But both of my parents had both of their families, because this often happens with Nigerian immigrants, is for their surname, they'll just, instead of saying so let's say in Nigeria you're Bob Phillips or whatever, but you come from some tribe named Izan or something. So you go to another country, a lot of times, instead of calling yourself Bob Phillips, you'll call yourself Bob Izan or something. You take your tribal name as your surname. So that's what my parents did. They again, separately, they both done it. Then they met each other. Then they were like, aha, we have the same last name. Ha, funny. And so they got married. And then they got married. I was the oldest kid. And since I was the first, they wanted to name me after somebody they really admired. So they named me Hammer after the actor Armie Hammer. So it's Hammer Atungo. However, my dad didn't really care, but my mom said, like, we're not going to call our son Hammer. That just sounds retarded. That's just she was okay with it being the official name, but it wasn't like, she said, I don't want to call him that. I don't want him to go by that. So they use the name Ballface8020 is a very popular given name in Nigeria. So they gave me that name, and then that's the name that I've always gone by. So like whenever like I think of myself, my name, I just think Ballface8020. When I sign my name on a document, I do not sign it Hammer Atungo. I sign it Ballface8020. Ballface8020 Atungo. So, but like officially, like legally, my legal name that's on my birth certificate is Hammer Ballface8020 Atungo. So Ballface8020 is just what I go by. It's not like, it's my middle name. It's just, that's all it is. It's my middle name. Now, what's been interesting and kind of surprising to me is a lot of people seem to think like they seem to think it's like some kind of pen name or stage name. And I don't know why you would think that. I mean, it's just a normal given. And I've had some people say, like, well, the name, like, Ballface8020, nobody else has that name. It's just like, what the fuck part of the country did you grow up in? Because I knew, like, when I was growing up, I knew one guy named Ballface8021, and one guy just named Ballface, and I think one guy named Ballface09. So, like, I agree. As far as I know, I'm the only person I've ever seen with 8020. That could just be because, like, that's more of a Nigerian thing. Whereas in the US, it's more, like I said, it's 8021 or 9. Or sometimes they don't even use the numbers at all. But that's the only, so I don't know what part of the country you guys are living in that, like, you've never met anybody with it. Or it could just be that some of you guys are Zoomers and it's just not as common in your generation. That could be it. That could be it as well. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that's the story of my name. I'm sorry it's not, yeah, I feel like you guys were thinking, like, hoping it was for something more interesting, but I mean, that's just what it is. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next.